Good morning, everybody. How's it going? It is 10:50 a.m. Mountain Time on Monday, June 14th. Already almost halfway through the year. So I promise today will be my shortest video ever, or at least close to it. It won't be 20 minutes. It'll probably be under 10 minutes. But I'm going to talk about Bitcoin and what we're looking at for the rest of the week. The bull case, the bear case, shorts, news. There's only one piece of news I really want to talk about, so we're going to get into that, and we're going to touch on the four charts that I always kind of look at is the Bitcoin chart, the Bitcoin dominance chart, the altcoin market cap chart, and the Bitcoin futures chart. So before we get started, if you could please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it greatly. I've been doing really well with how we've been feeling out the market. As you know, last video we were looking at the 33,000 area and talking about this potentially being the bottom. It just seemed like things were kind of being pressed down, and there was just too much. Just like couldn't get past the bids. Just seemed like big money was just loading up as Bitcoin was being shorted and sold. Anyways, so we're going to get into what to look forward to since the last video. Just remember this: I am not a financial advisor. None of this should be considered financial advice. Just do your own research. I'm a trader. Anything in this video is considered informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only, but I do have my opinions, and I do want to share those with you. So, like I said, last video, I made a buy. I don't know if I mentioned I made a buy around 33,000. I made a second buy around 37,000. I won't make another buy until we put in a low, a candle's low over this 50-day moving average. That's what I'm looking for next, because I'm still, I think that we have bottomed around 30,000. I am a fundamental believer in Bitcoin, but recently during this whole stage, the technicals have been leading the fundamentals. Any good news would get sold off, any bad news would get sold off. Now we got good news, like El Salvador adopting Bitcoin, other smaller Central American countries adopting Bitcoin or looking to. I think that's where the real benefit is anyways, and the larger countries like the U.S., Russia, Europe, they're going to try and fight to try and keep their U.S. dollar, their British pound, and whatever currency Russia uses. I don't know. You've already seen China make a crackdown on cryptocurrency. But anyways, what to look forward to. So we know, right, what we're looking at. We broke out of this horizontal resistance, and we're looking at this last spot here. It's inching up. It's not anything that's going nuts in the upward direction, and that's fine. Like, inching up is great. What I foresee is, I got 1-2 green candles here. I could see us finishing green today and then putting in one more green candle to come up to the 200-day moving average, and that's where the real test begins. So what's happening within this sideways trading range? Well, here's what's happening. Bitcoin shorts. Check that out. Got Bitcoin shorts going parabolic. And I don't use like these indicators to track this. I just know that that's a lot of money that needs to cover, and it's been shorted and shorted and shorted and shorted, heavier and heavier, and the price has been going up and up and up and up and up. It just makes me think like there's still games being played. A lot of games being played. I think it's a lot of big money, and I think that the real big money is loading up. So that brings us into our first and only piece of news. MicroStrategy today, I think around 11:30 a.m. my time. MicroStrategy, it would be 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 11:30 a.m. around Eastern Standard Time. Maybe it was earlier than that, I'm not sure. This article was written 9:45 my time, so about an hour ago. So they completed their $500 million offering, plans to buy more Bitcoin. I'm just going to read through this. Software company MicroStrategy has today completed its $500 million offering with secured notes, according to a statement. The company said it plans to use the proceeds, which it estimates at $488 million after discounts, commissions, and expenses, to buy more Bitcoin. So these notes are due 2028, an annual rate of 6.125%. Not a bad percent for a loan. The company already holds 92,079 Bitcoin, which is under the purview of its newly formed subsidiary MicroStrategy. The price of Bitcoin is currently 40,700. As you saw on the screen here, it's about 39,960, suggesting that MicroStrategy will be able to buy 11,990 more Bitcoin, taking it well above the $100,000 mark. Announced this latest offering June 7th, initially planning to raise $400 million before it was up to $500 million. According to reports, the company had more than $1.6 billion worth of orders for the notes, including interest from a large number of hedge funds. So the interest is there. Now they have $488 million. Doesn't say when, Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy is going to purchase. They're not just going to throw $488 million on a market order and buy up the ask. Although that would be nice because it would squeeze the short. So why are people shorting it? Well, it was looking pretty bad. Elon Musk, Tesla stopped taking Bitcoin orders, but then again he tweeted like once it's environmentally friendly or able to mine through efficient energy sources that aren't bad for the environment, Tesla will take Bitcoin again. Of course, it's the Elon Musk drama story. It's not an accident. He knows what he's doing. He's not acting alone. It's not just something he's winging on Twitter and trying. It's all calculated. Anyways, so a lot of good things on the horizon, but I think what people were looking at is you see this 50-day moving average looking to cross 200-day moving average. It's called the death cross. I haven't seen it play out like it used to, where it crosses and prices just tank. If you watched the last video, talking about it trading sideways and it taking a while, maybe into July or something like that, and the 50-day coming down below the 200 and then crossing the 50-day sideways, coming up to the 200, and then the 50-day curling back up and putting upward pressure on the price of Bitcoin until we finally cross the 200-day moving average and start moving up again. Now, with this recent stuff going on, I think it could happen sooner. I don't know. Regardless, I think we go up from here. Could be wrong. Always protect myself to the downside. Again, that $30,000 area is still the line in the sand. I won't have my stop loss there because I am building a longer term position right now for the long game. So mentioned I bought at 33 and 37. I won't buy again until we've put a low in above this 50-day moving average. And then I have my plans for the downside around 24,000. I'd make another buy, and they're the same size buys. So that's where I'm at, up or down, where I'm buying, where I have bought, and that's what I'm looking at for the price of Bitcoin. Now, let's say these shorts have been coming in, and the price has been moving up. I mean, that's a red flag to me if I'm short, and that's pretty frustrating, and I'm probably giving up at this point. I think, again, to mention, just to go over some stuff we've recently talked about, the 250-day moving averages are big points. There's a 42,000 area that everybody's looking at, and then for me, this low back on April 25th, $47,004.20 off of Bitstamp's price. That's what I'm looking at. Like, if we get over 47 and we close a couple days above it, or we put a couple lows in above that number, like that's when I start really, really gaining confidence. I'm trying to, just kind of stay level and stay smart and not risk too much. Anyways, so everything's following Bitcoin for the most part, as it has been through this whole sideways period. We do see some increasing volume last couple days, still not huge volume, but today we have about 7 hours left in the trading day, so I'm expecting to do, what was this day? How much volume did they do? I'm expecting, 8.54 thousand. I'm expecting to do about as much as we did on June 9th, like back to these levels right here, volume. I think we could still expect double the volume that we got. I think people will start to get excited one way or another, depending on what the price does closer to the end of the day's candle. Anyways, you could see on my watch list that I've been building since I've gotten on TradingView, 1 inch is kind of standing out here, 21%. I don't know if there was any news or anything like that, but you could see like 0.88, 0.99. BNB is 1.2%, while Bitcoin is 2.95%. I think Chainlink had a pretty decent day. Polkadot up 11%, ENJ up 8%, ICP, which has tanked pretty hard, up 6%. That's one of those ones that I think it was just in the top 10 too early. It didn't make sense. It's still fundamentally, you could argue it's a good project, but that's one of the things I didn't like, is that it was in the top 10 too early. Chainlink, up 5%, but you could see nothing. There's the random one here and there, 21% on 1 inch as far as like my watch list on TradingView goes, but everything's still pretty much following Bitcoin, and the dominance on Bitcoin has been going up. So Bitcoin's actually been outperforming the entire altcoin market, and it's broken through its 50-day moving average on the Bitcoin dominance chart. So I don't know, you start getting some big buys in, you might see it come back up to that 58%, put it back over $1 trillion market cap. I don't know, but I'm just kind of watching this to gauge my altcoin buying decisions. Altcoins, we had this head and shoulder. It's got two right shoulders, so kind of a deformity. But we've come back into this channel. We've come back into this from this upward trend line from the low on May 23rd, and that's nice to see. Sideways movement is good. Yeah, I'm bigger on Bitcoin right now than altcoins. I do hold some altcoins, especially ones that I can farm, get some yields, some yield percentage in the form of other coins or its own coin. Talked about that, touched on that a little bit in the last video. Anyways, so we got not really touching on the Bitcoin futures chart too much. I mean, we're gonna have a red candle in an uptrend, so we could. What I like here is right where the 50-day moving average is, and this gap is a low of 48,595. Like I was talking about before, looking for around 47,000 this week. And well, maybe I only said that on Twitter, I'm not sure, but looking for around 47,000 this week. I would line up a perfect resistance right there. 48,595 on the futures. So the price of Bitcoin will vary a little bit, but you can see the 50-day needs to come down a little bit more, and we'd close that gap, but now we have a gap right here. So looking a little sloppy on the futures chart, so not looking at that too much. MicroStrategy, after closing the offering, remember the offering is going to dilute the shares in that stock. So the fact that they have an offering that's going to dilute the shares and usually drops the price, and sometimes it's like the kiss of death depending on how big it is and how long it's pumped for. Obviously we've been in a little downtrend with MicroStrategy, but breaking out here of this not long-term, but since February, this 3-4 month downtrend is nice. That an offering brings you good news. That means people are excited about MicroStrategy buying Bitcoin. Probably the only reason they're invested in it anyways. So that's it for today. We see this short amount rising, the amount of shorts rising. They might just be saying, hey, as long as they're willing to short, let them keep doing it. We'll just keep sucking up the bids. That seems like what's happening. I'm not saying that is what's happening, but to me, it looks like that's what's happening. They're just letting, hey, if they're continuing to short, just let them keep loading up their short positions while they're willing to, and we'll just keep, adding to our bids. And I think that at least a small short squeeze is on the way. Like I said, I think we could see like 47,000, 48,000 this week, just depending on how and when MicroStrategy buys. I wouldn't be shorting at this point. Everybody, I think, was shorting at this resistance area right here. We're shorting this resistance right here at 39,490, and previously right here, this 38,446, and now we've broken past both of these. I don't know. Shorting is not necessarily my game. Every once in a while, I'll trade puts on stocks, but shorting is not my game. It's easier to lose money, and I think I do well enough on the long side. So anyways, that's today's video. That's it. I think we're going to move up this week. Fairly confident in that. It's just a lot of things lining up, like MicroStrategy purchasing $488 million worth of Bitcoin. It just depends on when, how, and then we got the shorts. I mean, just continuing to add, and the price of Bitcoin, not only is it not going down, it's going up. So I don't understand the short position here. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't understand the short position here. So I think we go up. Like I said, my next buy is when we put in a low over this 50-day moving average. So hopefully this video today has been informative for you. Hopefully it's helped you out. And if it has, or if you've enjoyed it, please, or even just cause, hit the like and subscribe button for me, please. I would appreciate it greatly. And y'all have a great day, have a great week, and we'll be back again shortly. Bye.